Hey guys, I don't know what. Oh, there's my camera. I made my chat too big. Hold on. All right, guys, this is horrible. So let me welcome everyone. Welcome everyone. Oh, Grandma is dead. Welcome everyone. So, as most of you guys know already, there was a school shooting in Texas in a place called Uvalde. Uvalde. It's a town of about 16,500 people, mainly Mexican. There was a shooter, 18-year-old shooter from the high school who went to an elementary school and decided to kill originally 14 people and one adult. Now it's up to 21 people in total. There's 18 students and 3 adults. That's what when I hit that live button, so as of 5 minutes ago, that was the total. It could be more, but I'll show you guys that update. Welcome, Audra. I'll show you guys that update so people don't think I'm lying. And let me put this out there in the very beginning. If anybody talks about crisis actors, go see Molly. I don't buy it. I don't feed into that nonsense. I'm not a conspiracy theorist like that. And I fucking can't stand, what's his name? Alex Jones. So if you're that type of person, this is not the stream you want to be in. You will be deleted immediately. If anyone thinks this is all a big joke for gun control, have a good day. I'll send you over to Molly because I heard she's running that narrative, so she can go.
I was just briefed by the Texas Rangers. 18 children have passed on and 3 adults. What I was just told about 20 minutes ago is that the grandmother is still holding on, that she was airlifted to San Antonio. And so it's a very tragic event, as you can imagine. I can't imagine what it would mean to send your child off to school in the morning and then not have them return. It's
No.
devastating.
So, Senator, just to be clear here, I understand you're hearing that the grandmother may still be alive, but for the children who did go to school in the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th grades, as we understand it at Robb Elementary, we understood 14 of them were killed in this horrific shooting, and you're saying that number's now gone up to 18 in the school.
That is correct. As of a briefing that I just had with the Texas Rangers, that is correct. Yes, ma'am.
Senator, do you know anything more about what happened or how this happened? There is so little that we know right now, other than that the shooter is an 18-year-old male. We know so little. What else have you learned?
Well, Aaron, what I do know, of course, this is an ongoing investigation. What I do know is that this young man shot his grandmother and then fled that scene from that incident and was in a car wreck near the school, ran into the school, and proceeded to, all this carnage proceeded to unfold after that time.
Okay, so that was that. So last I knew, the grandmother was still alive. One of the reasons I went live is because whenever there's some kind of mass shooting or murder or something, there's always conspiracy theorists throwing out 100,000 fake facts. So I'm going live in order to eliminate a lot of those fake facts. Let's see if there's another update. No. There was some other things, some other video I was going to show though.
And now, guys, Senator Chris Murphy is speaking on the Senate floor. Let's listen.
Reliving stepping over their classmates' bodies as they tried to flee the school. In one classroom, that word was monkey. And over and over and over through the day, kids would stand up and yell, monkey. And a teacher or a paraprofessional would have to go over to that kid, take them out of the classroom, talk to them about what they had seen, work them through their issues. Sandy Hook will never, ever be the same. This community in Texas will never, ever be the same. Why? Why are we here? If not to try to make sure that fewer schools and fewer communities go through what Sandy Hook has gone through, what Uvalde is going through. Our heart is breaking for these families. Every ounce of.
Okay, because I see a lot of stuff in chat. Let me address a couple of things. Uvalde is 85 miles outside of San Antonio. San Antonio Hospital did get a few of the patients. I don't know if those are the ones that did. They confirmed 21. Rewind the video. I played it at the very beginning. So anyone that's just coming in that wants to know when 21 were confirmed, rewind this video and you'll see it right from CNN. This guy brought tears to my eyes the first time, and he brought tears again to my eyes. So if I take a minute, you know why.
Love and thoughts and prayers we can send, we are sending. But I'm here on this floor to beg, to literally get down on my hands and knees and beg my colleagues. Find a path forward here. Work with us to find a way to pass laws that make this less likely. I understand my Republican colleagues will not agree to everything that I may support, but there is a common denominator that we can find. There is a place where we can achieve agreement that may not guarantee that America never, ever again sees a mass shooting, that may not overnight cut in half the number of murders that happen in America. It will not solve the problem of American violence by itself. But by doing something, we at least stop sending this quiet message of endorsement to these killers whose brains are breaking, who see the highest levels of government doing nothing, shooting after shooting. What are we doing? Why are we here? What are we doing? I yield the floor.
Chris Murphy. That was Senator Chris Murphy, former congressman of the 5th District of Connecticut, which included the Sandy Hook Elementary School, where in 2012, 26 people were killed.
Sorry. So this is what we know so far. We know that a 18-year-old kid opened up fire in an elementary school. Shooting occurred in Uvalde, Texas. It's a town of about 15,000 people. It's about 85 miles west of San Antonio. Shooter opened fire at Robb Elementary School. Its school district, Uvalde School District, has an enrollment of just under 600 kids. Texas Governor Greg Abbott said on Tuesday the suspected gunman was an 18-year-old named Salvador Ramos. Abbott said the shooter is deceased and is believed responding officers killed him. So here we have again another non-white person who was shot by police. But the white kids never get shot. The man had a handgun, and may have also had a rifle, the governor said. Joe Biden's going to be speaking any moment. I mean, this is a small town. Small town. Don't know. All right. Biden hasn't started talking yet. I don't know. I was never one for gun control, but I'm starting to think that is the answer. Because if you go to all these other places in the world that don't have gun control, it's not a problem. Yeah, we are going to listen to Biden. Yeah. No white kid, no white shooter is ever shot. Why is that? I mean, seriously, I was never one to believe in this, and I always said, you know, quite the opposite. You know, that it's not guns, it's the people, and blah, blah, blah. But at the end of the day, I've been keeping track of this. Every single white shooter is alive, and every single non-white shooter is dead. They're always shot by police. But the white shooters are always alive. There's something to that. Yeah, Sissy, I could not even believe it. And the school sent an email out, and the email said, their school said, put a post on Twitter, said, we have an active shooter, and nobody be worried. We'll keep an update. We'll keep you updated. Oh my God, can you imagine seeing that on Twitter and your kid goes to that school? But here's the problem, Voice. You might be a responsible gun owner, but the majority of gun owners are responsible. But if we eliminated guns like Australia did and some of these other places where you can't get guns, I'm sure there's still illegal guns, but if they don't come in the country, then nobody can have them. We have to do something. I don't know what the answer is, but we have to have an answer. There has to be something. Switzerland has no gun control and 0 shooting deaths. Kids being raised without giving a damn. I don't know about that. And I think this is the first Mexican school shooter. I think. Rebecca, go back to the beginning of my live. Or I'll play it for you guys again. Not a problem. While we're waiting on this. Hang on.
I was just briefed by the Texas Rangers. 18 children have passed on, and 3 adults. What I was just told about 20 minutes ago is that the grandmother is still holding on, that she was airlifted to San Antonio. And so it's a very tragic event, as you can imagine. I can't imagine what it would mean to send your child off to school in the morning and then not have them return. It's devastating.
So, Senator, just to be clear here, I understand you're hearing that the grandmother may still be alive, but for the children who did go to school in the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th grades, as we understand it at Robb Elementary, we understood 14 of them.
That's where it came from. And Joy, I'm not being ridiculous. Look at the history. You could say whatever you want. Look at the history. White shooters are still alive. Any other shooter that is not white is dead and always shot by police. So before you tell me I'm ridiculous, look it up and you will see that I am dead on. And it's not being about race. These are facts. This is factual information. Look it up. Just You don't not get any other source from somewhere else. I'm saying personally, look it up and you will see every white shooter is alive and every black shooter or now Mexican is dead. It's fact. It's not a guess. It's not a race war. It is a fact. I did my research. Yeah, but didn't he shoot himself? He shot himself, didn't he? He didn't get shot by police. He shot himself. It is heartbreaking. Katrina, I am so, so sorry. Yeah, I don't think there was either, Stephanie. Well, this area is a very highly Mexican area. It's mostly Mexicans in the school district. Yeah, the cop shot him. Okay, guys, there's exceptions to every rule. All right? Majority. He was shot and killed by the cops. And I agree with you, Billy. I think they all need to be shot, is my point. Well, Bryansky, you could think what you want, do some research. Yeah, he was shot by police. I don't know, voice. I really don't. Well, what's the answer? What stronger laws? Do you take away guns? Do you not take away guns? Thank you, Amber. Statistically speaking, I am correct. Of course, there's always one or two that don't fit the mold, but statistically speaking. Yeah, this is crazy though. But see, that's the thing down under. Where do you draw the line? Where is the line drawn between what kind of gun you can own? Can you only own a rifle? Can you only own a hunting gun? Can you only... No, this had nothing to do with race, Lindsay. I didn't say it had to do with race. This has nothing to do with race. My guns are used to hunt and feed. I'm not saying that people should give up their rights for guns, but what is the answer? Tell me what the answer is. Why does Australia not have school shootings? How come it's only in America that there's school shootings? We have the most lax gun laws. I thought it, but release me, correct me if I'm wrong. I thought it was illegal to show guns on social media. Am I wrong about that? Hey, Ladybud. Hey, Hannah. I sent out many guns, but no automatic. Police monitor the gun safes and people's backgrounds. Oh, they are young men. Come on, Biden, you're late. That's true, Audra. Brian, a lot of people blame video games. Hey, Debbie, a lot of people blame video games. I do not. Buckeye, I have no idea. Joy, I don't. Jules, I have not. But what I'm saying is I thought that it was illegal to show, like Facebook, I thought doesn't allow it. I thought a lot of social media platforms will not allow guns to be shown. See, but the thing is, Queen, if you look at everybody that owns a gun, most people are okay owning a gun. Most people. But it's the ones that aren't that we have a problem with. You know, it's kind of like majority. Majority of people that own guns are fine. But that, let's say 1% that's under the age of 30 that are using guns to kill innocent kids, why? Yeah, but Joy, most schools do lock their doors now. I'm surprised they didn't, but I guess in a small town like that, they don't. Okay, but Bad Wolf, again, that is not the norm. I'm not a believer. You will never see me be a believer that video games cause all this school violence. I just don't buy it. You'll never hear me buy into that. That's just parenting. Yeah, our school's a lock too, and we have a cop in every school. It happened during the school day. I'm not sure what time. Far as I know, his grandmother is not dead yet. That could be updated. I don't have an update. I definitely think mental health has something to do with it. Yeah, Joy, I'm actually surprised. He was a high school kid. I know that they said he killed his grandmother first. He did not. As the last update, when I got the 21 students, 21 people, his grandmother had not been dead yet. That's true. You wouldn't even know about it if it wasn't for the internet. Well, that's not true, because I found out about it from my kid's school. Grandma's not dead yet. As of the last update, Grandma's not dead. Thank you, Danielle. And I meant to bring that up. Saying that video games are the cause of this is similar to saying Ozzy Osbourne caused people to commit suicide back in the 80s. He did not. It had nothing to do with the music. He must have attended that elementary school, but that elementary school was 2nd, 3rd, and 4th graders. Yes, 2nd through 4th. She was shot, but it wasn't fatal. As of the last update, she's still alive. Faraz, I don't know any of that yet. I literally got the email about an hour, about 6:15, I would say. Yeah, but Kimberly, these are kids. I agree. Did he, J-Dubs? Did you enjoy it? But you know what I'm saying? No, that's where that's what happened back in the 80s. It was all about, thank you, Audra, it's all about hurting. It's all about mental health. And I agree with that it's mental health. But where do we go from here? Yeah, his name is Salvador. I forgot his last name. Salvador Ramos. Yeah, 49 minutes ago, death toll in mass shooting target elementary school on Tuesday has now risen to 18. This is different? No, same one. Can't be.
I was just briefed by the Texas Ranger.
Yeah, same one. Uh, 2,000 people have been killed or injured by mass shootings in the U.S. since 1999, when the Columbine started. In 2020, firearms surpassed auto accidents as a leading cause of death for children ages 1 to 19. Think about that. In 2020, firearms surpassed auto accidents as a leading cause of death for children between the ages of 1 and 19. That's a scary statistic. California Governor Newsom said his own state is an example of the effectiveness of gun control. He said common sense gun safety laws work. In California, we have cut our gun death rate in half since the 80s. We won't solve this overnight, but let's stop pretending that these mass shootings are an inevitable horror we have to experience on a regular basis. Correct them. But like I said, majority of gun owners are fine. Majority of gun owners are responsible. They keep them locked up. They don't have any issues. They teach their kids, about gun control. But what do you do about this small percentage? Yeah, but Joy, that's just one state. That's just one country. One place, whatever. You can't deny that we are that as of 2020, there's more deaths between ages 1 and 19 than in anywhere else. That you can't deny that.
I'm Anne-Marie Espinoza, Executive Director of Communications and Marketing for Uvalde CISD. Please understand at this time, we will be making a statement and not taking any questions. So we please ask, at this time, we will be making a statement and not taking any questions. Here to provide a statement is our Uvalde CISD Chief of Police, Pete Arredondo.
Good afternoon. As she mentioned, I'm going to make a statement, and at this point, we won't take any questions. We will give you a time when we'll be addressing the media soon. At approximately 11:32 a.m. this morning, there was a mass casualty incident at Robb Elementary School in Uvalde, Texas. This school has children that are in 2nd, 3rd, and 4th grade. I can confirm right now that we have several injuries, adults and students, and we do have some deaths. The suspect is deceased at this point. DPS is assisting with the investigation. And at this point, the investigation is leading to tell us that the suspect did act alone during this heinous crime. Families are being notified, and we are providing services to them as the district should. As far as the rest of the district is concerned, safety measures were taken to make sure that we had a safe release for the rest of the district throughout our city of Uvalde. And we had numerous law enforcement officers and agencies that assisted with the safety release for those students. We do want to keep all our families in their prayers. I hope you do as well. And we also want to respect the privacy of the family. The crime scene is still being worked on. And again, we'll notify the parents and the families as soon as we have some news for them. Thank you so much.
We greatly appreciate your understanding and patience with us. Please know at this time, we are only making a statement, and we will be releasing more information as the investigation continues. We appreciate your courtesy. At this time, it concludes our...
Okay, Joy, did you see that?
Everybody have audio? Everybody good with that? Yeah, of course. Anything else? Last chance, white balance. Yeah, no worries. Audio check 1 2 1 2 1 2. Line level out of the audio check 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. Audio check, audio check. Okay. Someone's camera monitor. Okay. We check our camera monitor.
Audio check, you need to be louder. Joy, what? So who thinks this is going to be a complete waste of time? Because we all know the president's an idiot. One of the major differences, though, if you want to talk about mental health, is all these other places have free medical. We don't. That carpet is gross, I agree. It's got a big stain. He probably doesn't have many thoughts left. But there's like a big stain here, there's a big stain there. Something there. Laura, I have not discussed it. So if anyone's in the area, Uvalde, Texas is in desperate need of blood donations, if anyone can help. I know he got lost in his own house. Yeah, look, it's all dirty here, dirty there. Something on the floor there. Yeah, here's the stain, there's the stain. Here we go. Oh boy.
Good evening, fellow Americans. I had hoped when I became president I would not have to do this again.
Raise the volume.
Another massacre. Uvalde, Texas. An elementary school. Beautiful, innocent, second, third, fourth graders. And how many scores of little children who witness what happened see their friends die as if they're on a battlefield, for God's sake.
Does he think he's Scarface?
They'll live with it the rest of their lives. There's a lot we don't know yet. There's a lot we do know. The parents who will never see their child again, never have them jump in bed and cuddle with them. Parents who will never be the same. To lose a child is like having a piece of your soul ripped away. There's a hollowness in your chest. You feel like you're being sucked into it
Yes, Deb.
and never going to be able to get out. Suffocating. And it's never quite the same. It's the feeling shared by the siblings and the grandparents and the family members and the community that's left behind. Scripture says, Jill and I have talked about this in different contexts, in other contexts. The Lord is near to the brokenhearted and saves the crushed in spirit. So many crushed spirits. So tonight, I ask the nation to pray for them, give the parents and siblings the strength in the darkness they feel right now. As a nation, we have to ask, when in God's name are we going to stand up to the gun lobby? When in God's name we do what we all know in our gut needs to be done?
Isn't he the fucking president?
3,448 days, 10 years since I stood up at
Is he not the president of the United States?
a grade school in Connecticut, where another gunman massacred 26 people, including 20 first graders at Sandy Hook Elementary School. Since then, there have been over 900 incidents of gunfires reported on school grounds. Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School in Parkland, Florida. Santa Fe High School in Texas. Oxford High School in Michigan. The list goes on, and the list grows when it includes mass shootings at places like movie theaters, houses of worship, as we saw just 10 days ago at a grocery store in Buffalo, New York. I am sick and tired of it. We have to act.
He has the power
Don't
to
tell
change.
me we can't have an impact on this carnage. I spent my career as a senator and a
Maybe
vice
they should
president.
worry about that instead
Working
of
past
overturning Roe
common
v.
sense
Wade.
gun law.
Then we might get somewhere in the world.
We can and won't prevent every tragedy, but we know they work and have positive impact. When we passed the assault weapons ban, mass shootings went down. When the law expired, mass shootings tripled. The idea that an 18-year-old kid can walk into a gun store and buy 2 assault weapons is just wrong. What in God's name do you need an assault weapon for except to kill someone? Deer aren't running through the forest with Kevlar vests on, for God's sake. It's just sick. And the gun manufacturers have spent 2 decades aggressively marketing assault weapons, which make them the most and largest profit. For God's sake, we have to have the courage to stand up to the industry. Here's what else I know. Most Americans support common sense laws, common sense gun laws. I just got off a trip from Asia, meeting with Asian leaders. And I learned of this while I was on the aircraft. And what struck me on that 17-hour flight, what struck me was these kinds of mass shootings rarely happen anywhere else in the world. Why?
Because they
They
have
have
free
mental health
medical.
problems.
They have
They
free
have domestic
medical.
disputes in other countries. They have people who are lost.
They have
But
free
these kinds of mass
medical.
shootings never happen with the kind of frequency they happen in America. Why?
Because they have
Why
free
are we willing to
medical.
live with this carnage? Why do we keep letting this happen?
Keep charging
What
an
in
arm and a leg
God's
for
name is our
insurance.
backbone to have the courage to deal with it and stand up to the lobbies? It's a time to turn this pain into action for every parent, for every citizen in this country. We have to make it clear to every elected official in this country, it's time to act. It's time for those who obstruct or delay or block the common sense gun laws. We need to let you know that we will not forget. We can do so much more. We have to do more. Our prayer tonight is for those parents
It's more free than we have here.
lying in bed and trying to figure out, will I be able to sleep again? What do I say to my other children? What happens tomorrow? May God bless the loss of innocent life on this sad day. And may the Lord be near the brokenhearted and save those crushed in spirit, because they're going to need a lot of help, and a lot of our prayers.
You may pay more in taxes, but
God
you're
love
still
you.
not paying what we pay to insurance companies. Well, that was intelligent. That was important. Like, we haven't all said all that. Okay, so grandma's in critical condition. She's not dead. And that was as of 10 minutes ago. That was one of the updates. Grandma's not dead. I know, what an inspiring speech. White teenagers killing people with guns. It was a bunch of nothing. He was acting like he has no power. Okay, so then you proved what we all know is that you have no power. Yeah, but Huck, he's an idiot. I don't care what you say. He's an idiot. Always has been an idiot. Always will be an idiot. He's pointless. You could say over and over and over and over, it's gun laws, it's mental health, it's this, it's that. But one thing that we don't see anybody doing is changing anything. You can place the blame from here till doomsday. But if you don't make changes somewhere or start somewhere, then it's never going to change. You're right, it's not law-abiding citizens pulling this. I agree. Jax, that I know. Can't take guns from innocent people. We hunt, we have guns, and never had... Well, that's what I said. Majority of people are good. Don't know that yet. But if they don't address the mental health aspect, the guns are not going to change. If they address the mental health aspect first, and let me give you guys a little background on mental health that I know of. When I was doing my master's in criminology and criminal justice, one of the things that I fought with my professor about, who wrote a book and everything, but one of the things I fought with him about was revisitim rates. I can never say it right, and I'm not even going to bother. Revisitism, whatever. Going back to jail. That one of the reasons people constantly go back to jail is because they're medicated in prison. And once they get out, they're given whatever clothes they came in with, $50, here you go get a train ride home, and you're out of the system. Yes, you're still on parole or probation, but you no longer have the medication that kept you normal while you were behind those walls. What they need to do is keep prisoners on that medication free for the rest of their life. That's what they need to do. You can't get, if you're a felon, you can't get Medicaid. Or you can't get food stamps. I don't know if you can get Medicaid. I don't think you can get Medicaid if you are a felon. So once you get out of jail, you have to pay for these medicines out of pocket, which you're not going to do. So that causes those people to go back to jail because being in jail is the only time they ever felt normal. Well, my professor fought with me on this over and over and over. I did a term paper on it. He still fought with me. He said I was wrong. To this day, I don't believe I'm wrong. I believe that is why there are so many people going back to jail. Why so many people leave jail and that's it, they're done. It's the same thing here. If you find a way in order to get free medical that you don't have to worry about paying for it, and it's delivered every 90 days or whatever the situation, odds are you're not going to have, you're going to eliminate a lot of mental health problems. Now, do they have to take it like they do in jail? No. But if you were in jail or not in jail and you come out, odds are you like the way you felt when you were on those drugs. So I am a big, oh, you can get Medicaid. Okay. I thought you couldn't. Because I know you can't get food stamps. Yeah, if you're a felon, you can't get a gun, but odds are you'd be able to anyway. Hey, John. I spent 10 years in Orlando, and Pulse was a great place. Mentally, yeah, but there's different levels of mentally ill, John. There's some that are truly mentally ill, and then there's mental illness like bipolar, and you can't lock up every single person that has some kind of mental illness. You can, Amanda? I'm pretty sure you can. I know in Alabama you can't. Okay. Thanks to the Affordable Care Act, people with felony convictions are now eligible to apply for Medicaid health care upon release from prison. Okay, so they never were before that Affordable Care Act. 6 states where you can't get food stamps. Alabama. It's Alabama. That's what I thought. In Alabama, you can't. Because it says for almost 2 decades, Alabama residents convicted of a drug-related felony were barred for life from receiving food stamps or welfare payments. Starting this month, the ban will officially be lifted. Alabama's not the only state that's backing away from the ban, which was established in 1996 under President Clinton's welfare reform. 18 states have completely abandoned the federal prohibition. I knew I wasn't crazy. Everyone should have a right to free health care. Sorry, but nothing will change my mind on that. I think it's absolutely ridiculous that of how expensive health. I don't have health insurance. I can't afford health insurance. My kids have health insurance, but I don't. This happened today, 420. See if there's any updates. Oh, that's why I know her name. All right, no update. I'm sorry I'm quiet. I'm reading stuff from a reporter who's going over Biden's speech. All right. So this is the truck that he was in. Truck believed to be the one that the gunman Salvador Ramos crashed before entering Robb Elementary School and opening fire as it was sitting in a ditch taped off by police earlier today. So that was the car. See, but that's the thing. I don't think it's just about gun control. They need to address all of it. They need to make it about everything, not just gun control. Like, if they're going to go with gun control, then you also have to go with mental health. It has to be everything combined. Take away one thing, it's not going to change anything. You have to take away everything. You have to address everything, not just one piece of it. Because there will be illegal guns. It's now, the grandma's not dead. It's 18 students and 3 adults. The grandmother is still alive. Oh, come on. Mental health does play a huge part. That's what I'm saying. You can't just take away guns. You have to take away guns or get better gun control on top of addressing the mental illness. You can't have one without the other. It has to go both. All right. Gunman killed at least 18 children and a teacher on Tuesday. The deadliest American elementary school shooting since Sandy Hook. 18-year-old who attended a nearby high school. He shot and killed horrifically, incomprehensibly. Talking about Buffalo shooting. He entered the elementary school with a handgun, possibly a rifle. It was not immediately clear whether the shooting took place in one classroom or several, and officials did not release the names or ages of the students killed or the teachers. They were looking for the gunman, had been targeting the school. They don't know if he targeted school or he ended up there by chance. Shooting took place right after 11:30. His motives and details about the weapons he used, the massacre threats, the debate over gun control, Second Amendment rights. Oh my God, my eyes are burning. Say it was a wonderful, tight-knit community. Yeah, but you're saying it wasn't his plan, but why would you walk into an elementary school and just start shooting? Just because you got into a car accident. And no other updates. Now my eyes are burning. Like, seriously burning. I don't know why. Let's see. Yeah, he's dead. I got some texts. And a video. Seek and ye shall find.
Oh shit. Where are they at? Oh shit. Where are they at?
That's him entering the school.
Oh shit. Where are they at?
That was him entering the school. He was 18. And there was some text messages. Hold on. Woman posted messages. She said were from a stranger who tagged her in a gun post on Instagram. I got a little secret I want to tell you. One message said, I don't know him. I don't even live in Texas, she wrote in a story. He's a stranger. I know nothing about him. He decided to tag me in his gun post. So sorry for the victims and their families. I really don't know what to say. She said, or someone said, I'm about to. She said, what? About to what? Good morning. I'll tell you before 11. Good morning. Good morning what? I'll text you in an hour. But you have to respond. I got a little secret I want to tell you. I might be taking a nap because I'm really sick, but if I'm awake, I will. She said, bet. I'm air out. What? That was it. The username Salvador was deleted after the gunman's name was announced by Abbott. The encounter included 2 selfies of a teen who appears to be the shooter, along with photos of 2 rifles. Another photo showed a person holding a gun magazine in his lap. The account followed multiple Instagram users confirmed by Heavy to be Uvalde high school students. And another account shared messages. She says the gunman sent her days before the shooting. Tagged a random woman writing, I got a little secret. And there's a picture of the shooter. Okay, has not been authenticated by authorities. It was removed shortly after the shootings. Well, he couldn't remove it. Laura, don't know. Yeah, but will they trace it to a store? It's crazy. See, New York Post is showing the pictures. Hang on. They're showing these pictures. Police escorting. Oh, they're saying that's him. You see a gun. That looks like a rifle. And that does look like him. Oh my God, I would never let my kid be in a bus. Nah, same one. It's crazy. Notorious B.I.G. turned 50 today. Alright. This is what we know about the shooter. That was worthless. Alright. So what they're saying is he sent a cryptic message to a stranger. It says, I'm about to. Which that's what I showed you before. He attended the high school, reportedly shot his grandmother before driving to the school armed with a handgun and possibly a rifle. Contained photos of guns and selfies. Same account shared a photo of two rifles laying side by side to its stories. The account tagged another user. So Ramos was a stranger. Said, you're going to repost my gun pics. She said, what your guns got to do with me? He said, just wanted to tag you. About 2.5 hours later, the school went on lockdown. About a half hour later, the school reported an active shooter at the location who was in police custody by 1:06. So he was killed after he was in police custody? That's all we know so far. That's it. Other than that, it seems to be the same repeat. Biden speaks. It's the only update. The state of YouTube? I think this is a little more important than YouTube. Just saying.
Who did it? Who was waiting in the
He's obviously well on his way to...
That's right. Today's voting. I certainly hope not, Ash. Those people can go elsewhere. Oh. Oh, that's why they're saying it's fake, because of
we've spoken with several family members, several parents, each one of them telling us that the child they cannot find at the Civic Center, where evacuations were happening, at the hospitals nearby and in San Antonio. The children's ages that are still missing are 10 years old, which puts them right around 4th grade. Now again, school district officials are not releasing a whole lot of information at this time, but this is information we are getting directly from parents. These are parents we saw running to the school to try and find their kids. One father I spoke with, as you just mentioned, not more than about 15 minutes ago, stopped me in the street, and he asked me if I knew where the funeral home was. That funeral home,
Oh my God, Katrina. Oh my God. Say the shooter crashed his car. I think he was on the way to the high school, but because he crashed, decided to go to the elementary school. Yeah, but why go to the elementary school and blow up all these kids? So he was going to do it at the high school then.
Is about 4 blocks away from us down this street. And how old is your?
10. Her name's McKenna.
How long have you been looking for her today?
Since it happened.
What are you worried about right now?
She may not be alive.
Have you heard anything?
Nothing. Don't know where, other than she's not in San Antonio.
Do you mind me asking, when you first walked out to me, what did you ask me?
If we could get to the funeral home.
Why would you ask me that?
Because we can't find my daughter.
What does this say about where we are right now? I mean, this is a small town, man.
Pretty sad. Really sad. What this world's coming to.
Since we left shoot around, 14 children were killed 400 miles from here, and a teacher. And in the last 10 days, we've had elderly Black people killed in a supermarket in Buffalo. We've had Asian churchgoers killed in Southern California. And now we have children murdered at school. When are we going to do something? I'm tired. I'm so tired of getting up here and offering condolences to the devastated families that are out there. I'm so tired of I'm sorry. I'm tired of the moments of silence. Enough. There's 50 senators right now who refuse to vote on H.R. 8, which is a background check rule that the House passed a couple of years ago. It's been sitting there for 2 years. And there's a reason they won't vote on it, to hold on to power. So I ask you, Mitch McConnell, I ask all of you senators who refuse to do anything about the violence and school shootings and supermarket shootings, I ask you, are you going to put your own desire for power ahead of the lives of our children and our elderly and our churchgoers? Because that's what it looks like. It's what we do every week. So I'm fed up. I've had enough. We're going to play the game tonight, but I want every person here, every person listening to this to think about your own child or grandchild or mother or father or sister, brother. How would you feel if this happened to you today? We can't get numb to this. We can't sit here and just read about it and go, well, let's have a moment of silence. Yeah, go Dubs, you know, come on Mavs, let's go. That's what we're going to do. We're going to go play a basketball game. And 50 senators in Washington are going to hold us hostage. You realize that 90% of Americans, regardless of political party, want background check, universal background check. 90% of us, we are being held hostage by 50 senators in Washington who refuse to even put it to a vote, despite what we, the American people, want. They won't vote on it because they want to hold on to their own power. It's pathetic. I've had enough.
Damn, that was pretty fucking intense.
There are 14 kids dead in an elementary school in Texas right now. What are we doing? What are we doing? Just days after a shooter walked into a grocery store to gun down African American patrons, we have another Sandy Hook on our hands. What are we doing? There have been more mass shootings than days in the year. Our kids are living in fear every single time they set foot in a classroom because they think they're going to be next. What are we doing? Why do you spend all this time running for the United States Senate? Why do you go through all the hassle of getting this job, of putting yourself in a position of authority, if your answer is that as this slaughter increases, as our kids run for their lives, we do nothing? What are we doing? Why are you here? If not to solve a problem as existential as this.
I'm going to say it again. The grandmother is not dead. The grandmother's in critical condition, but not dead. Guys, no fighting in chat.
This isn't inevitable. These kids weren't unlucky. This only happens in this country and nowhere else. Nowhere else do little kids go to school thinking that they might be shot that day. Sandy Hook will never, ever be the same. This community in Texas will never, ever be the same. Why? Why are we here? If not to try to make sure that fewer schools and fewer communities go through what Sandy Hook has gone through, what Uvalde is going through. Our heart is breaking for these families. Every ounce of love and thoughts and prayers we can send, we are sending. But I'm here on this floor to beg, to literally get down on my hands and knees and beg my colleagues. Find a path forward here. Work with us to find a way to pass laws that make this less likely. I understand my...
All right, I'm going to say this. Nikki, you read my mind. Guys, do not disrespect each other in chat. Everybody can have an opinion. You don't have to agree with that opinion, but everybody's allowed to have their own point of view. If it crosses a line and I think it's wrong, I will say something, but please, guys, especially members and Patreons and members, please, no fighting. It's not good.
Our Republican colleagues will not agree to everything that I may support, but there is a common denominator that we can find. There is a place where we can achieve agreement that may not guarantee that America never, ever again sees a mass shooting, that may not overnight cut in half the number of murders that happen in America. It will not solve the problem of American violence by itself, but by doing something, we at least stop sending this quiet message of endorsement to these killers whose brains are breaking, who see the highest levels of government doing nothing, shooting after shooting.
Good afternoon. We're coming back on the air now with continued reporting on this horrific scene unfolding in Uvalde, Texas, about 80 miles outside San Antonio. A short time ago, Governor Greg Abbott confirming the number we sadly reported on earlier. 14 children, he confirmed, have been killed in this shooting, along with a teacher at Robb Elementary School in the Uvalde district there. The alleged gunman is also dead, and we have just received an image of that gunman, 18 years old. Our investigative reporter, Aaron Kotursky, with me now. Aaron, what more do we know about this suspect who is now dead, believed to be a member of that community and that school district?
Indeed, David. He's identified by the governor of Texas as 18-year-old Salvador Ramos, a student at Uvalde High School, and he is believed to have shot and killed his grandmother before entering Robb Elementary School and opening fire with a firearm that has not yet been made clear, according to police. They're still trying to track down the weapon. Shot and killed 14 elementary school students, along with one teacher. And law enforcement sources tell us, David, that the suspect, 18-year-old Salvador Ramos himself, was killed there at the scene.
And Aaron, again, Salvador Ramos believed to be a student in that district.
A student in the very community where he opened fire, it's believed, according to police. A student at Uvalde High School, Whether he was still going to classes or whether he had stopped going hasn't been made clear. But according to the governor of Texas, Greg Abbott, Salvador Ramos is or was a student at Uvalde High School, the very community where Robb Elementary School is located, that came under fire by this gunman after he had shot and killed his grandmother. Authorities are now trying to go through his background to see what connection he may have had to that elementary school. They're also trying to run down social media and find any potential friends or acquaintances just to see if there were any accomplices or anyone else who may have had an inkling that this shooting was about to come, David.
All right, that is the major headline coming in right now. The suspect, the image of him just a short time ago made public. Again, an 18-year-old believed to be a member of that community and a student at the high school there. Governor Abbott, again, confirming that number. We came on the air.
All right, so they're going backwards because this is old.
We got closer to the school, and I am looking at it right now with the yellow tape all the way around it. As we got closer to the school, I saw parents running down the street towards the school. A couple of them stopped us. We spoke with one family who said they were looking for their 10-year-old niece. They had contacted the hospital. They had contacted the school. They had reached out to people in San Antonio as well because they've heard that that's where victims were taken, and they could not get any information. We connected them with some contacts that we have in San Antonio, and they are right now in touch with them. I got closer to the school, and I was stopped by a dad who asked if I knew how to get to the funeral home because he couldn't find his 10-year-old little girl.
Maria Villarreal. Go ahead.
Sorry, David. I just it's a really tough situation to be here, and to see this dad, who I know is stoic in most situations. The funeral home is a few blocks from where this school is. He did tell me as of right now he was notified and was trying to find more information on Facebook. What he could tell me was he does believe the shooting happened in his daughter's classroom. That classroom is full of young children. He told me young 10-year-old children. He has not been able to confirm that information with school district officials, but he does know a number of parents have gotten together and are sharing information through group text and through Facebook posts. And he is very fearful that his daughter's classroom was the one that was targeted by this shooter. David?
Just unimaginable. Maria Villarreal with the story of just one father now trying to find his own child after word of this horrific shooting in Uvalde, Texas. Governor Abbott confirming those numbers that we had reported earlier. 14 children killed in this shooting, a teacher killed as well, and Governor Abbott adding to that.
Okay, that's been completely updated. It's 21. I guess they just went in order.
Much sorrow before stopping these acts of senseless violence.
While there's a lot we don't know about the shooting, we do know it happened in a predominantly Latino community about 70 miles from the U.S.-Mexico border. According to the Dallas Morning News, the school is of 2nd through 4th graders, 90% Latino. About 80% of the kids are part of families that are struggling financially. We spoke with Rudy Espinoza Murray from the Moms Demand Action for Gun Sense in America's California.
Guys, I have an update.
I'd hoped.
Now they're saying it's... Oh, wait. 18 children. No, it was 18 children. I thought there was more.
Bill tackling the untraceability of so-called ghost guns that are kits assembled from parts you can buy over the internet. ABC News will have much more on the deadly Texas school shooting coming up in a live edition of World News Tonight with David Muir right here after Eyewitness News at 6.
Some local news, the search goes on tonight for one of two suspects in what investigators are calling an ambush attack on the CHP office.
Parents still waiting there a little while ago. Find out where their child was exactly. Oh, TV is horrible. I don't think there's any more updates.
Let's bring in our Chief Justice correspondent, Pierre Thomas, tonight, because, Pierre, I know your sources in federal law enforcement are very concerned. We already had a problem of mass shootings in this country. Now we're well more than 2 years into this pandemic. These are extraordinarily trying and heavy times in this country. They're worried about more of this.
That's right, David. They're concerned about copycats. In fact, David, that was a big concern after Buffalo and now this. And David, we're in the midst of a surge, both in terms of active shooter incidents and mass shootings. It all began during the pandemic. In 2019, there were 417 mass shootings. Last year, that number jumped to 693. That's an incredible spike. And authorities long worried about extremists, white supremacists, supporters of ISIS, and they're also worried about a crisis of mental health that some believe has been made worse by the pandemic, David.
There you go.
I'd hoped.
But I don't think it's a pandemic. This is long, their mental health is long before the pandemic. I definitely wouldn't blame the pandemic. But that's just me. We finally got a picture of somebody. Here is a picture of the teacher that was killed. She was a 4th grade teacher. TV, it happened at 11:30 this morning. So in Santa Fe High School in May of 2018 in Texas, Houston, a 17-year-old opened fire, killing 10 people, most of them students. The suspect was charged with murder. Then you had Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School in February of 18. That attack left 14 students and 3 staff members dead in the school in Parkland. 20-year-old suspect was charged with murder. Umpqua Community College in October of 15. Man killed 9 people in Oregon and wounded 9 others, then killed himself. Sandy Hook Elementary, 19-year-old killed his mother at his home and then went to a nearby Sandy Hook, killed 20 first graders, 6 teachers, and took his own life. Virginia Tech, April of 07, 23-year-old student killed 32 people on the campus in Virginia in April of 2007. More than 24 were injured. He then killed himself. Red Lake High School in March of 05, 16-year-old student killed his grandfather, and then the man's companion at their Minnesota home went to Red Lake High School where he killed 5 students, a teacher, and a security guard before shooting himself. Columbine High School, April of 1999, 2 students killed 12 of their peers and 1 teacher at school in Littleton, Colorado, injured many others, and then killed themselves. Number of people injured in mass shootings in the U.S. in the last 5 years was 1,183. And the number of people injured or killed does not include the suspect or the perpetrator. It's a lot, though. I remember all of these except the Red Lake High School in 05. I don't remember that. Like, they're not exactly the best example of following federal policy. I'll agree. Hey, Monica. Yeah, I agree with that.
As we were walking right up to the school, as you can see.
I saw that already. All right, so the teacher worked for the district for 17 years. She was a mother and a wife. Talk about Biden. Yeah, this is horrible. Absolutely horrible.
I'd hoped.
Josh Haskell.
Thought you knew.
Yeah, it's same videos. I'm looking for any kind of update. I don't see anything. Three new updates. All right. In the wake of, this was 2 minutes ago, in the wake of another horrific mass shooting, leading Republicans are set to speak at the National Rifle Association's 2022 annual meeting on May 27th. Texas Governor Greg Abbott, who was the first to announce a shooting on Tuesday, is speaking at the conference. Former President Donald Trump is scheduled to speak. U.S. Senator John Cornyn of Texas was also scheduled to attend but canceled due to unexpected change in schedule. Scheduled appearances come, blah, blah, blah. When in God's name are we going to do something? The NRA in 2016 spent more than $50 million to back Donald Trump and several Republicans. It's all the updates are gun control. So the school, this is interesting. The school district for Robb Elementary has its own police department with 5 cops and 1 security guard. The city of Uvalde's police department received just under 40% of the entire city's budget for the year and got a $500,000 grant from the state. Neither stopped today's massacre. That's interesting. Obama speaks, said across the country, parents are putting their children to bed, reading stories, singing lullabies, and in the back of their minds, they're worried about what might happen tomorrow after they drop their kids off. That's it. Those are the updates. I know tomorrow's the kid's last day of school. I don't know if I should keep him home. I know, right? It'll be Trump's fault somehow.
Mr. President.
I saw that already. Yeah, we're pretty locked up too. All right, 6 new updates. Democrats move quickly to clear the way for votes on legislation to strengthen background checks for gun purchasers. See, but that's not really going to do anything because you can... You're welcome, Rodolfo. You can get a gun and then somebody else is going to get it for you. You know what I mean? This is all about gun control. More gun control. Senator Schumer, Democrat of New York, and the majority leader just moved the tee up to vote on background check legislation. Yeah, but that's not going to change it. That's absolutely not going to change it. You can get a gun for someone else. Well, you know what? I can smell your bathroom. You want to know something? That's going to be next. When they make it illegal, you're going to see a lot of people dying. They don't want us to have guns. We'll all be defenseless, and that's what they want. But what about all the places that aren't? Sweet Anastasia. But I'm telling you, that's going to be next. Clarissa, that's not true. I don't think banning guns alone are going to change anything. I don't. And even going ahead and, saying that you need better background checks, that's not going to do anything either. The problem is much bigger than that. Okay, so the bills that they're proposing would expand criminal background checks to would-be gun buyers on the internet and at gun shows, and lengthen the waiting period for gun buyers flagged by the instant background check system to allow more time to the FBI to investigate. So I don't have any record, so I could go buy a gun and give it to Buckeye Birdie, who's ready to go kill somebody. What good is that going to do? It's not going to do anything. It's absolutely going to do nothing. Because most people, not all, but most people who own a gun are responsible. So they're making it harder for people that aren't going to have a problem with a gun in the first place. You know what I'm saying? It's dumb. They need to do something much different than that. It just doesn't make sense. That's not going to solve anything. Criminals don't care about laws. I agree. I know they have been talking about it for years. Guns don't shoot by themselves. Republican senators haven't changed much. Mr. O'Connell, who controlled the Senate for 6 years until 2021, has an A+ rating from the NRA, has been instrumental in blocking Democratic efforts to enact gun safety measures, a record that reflects a deep hostility in his party to virtually any proposal that seeks to limit access to firearms. Democrat of Montana declared that the people that are here aren't totally crazy. They can't see that we need to do something and still protect our government, and my eyes are fucking burning. So, I am going to shut down because my eyes are burning, like literally, and I can't see. So, if anything major else happens, check my community page. I'll see you guys in the morning, but like my eyes are seriously burning, and they're starting to get like teary. So, I think it's all the web design I'm doing. It's killing my eyes. Alright. We need Trump back? Yeah, it's closer to the border than it is to... Not saying it was illegal, but the guns could have been. Yeah, I don't know. We don't know yet. We don't know yet. I know, right, Anastasia? Thank you, Klein. Welcome. Alright, so I'm going to get off. I'm hungry too. But if there anything major happens, I will see you guys again. For my Making a Murderer people, don't forget, June 14th, Making a Murderer 3 comes out. I don't know why Netflix isn't showing it, everything I read. So if you want to know my roots or where I came from, it is Making a Murderer. I would suggest watching series 1 and 2 on Netflix if you want to be caught up. There's more to this. What do you mean, Clarissa? Like right now I should look it up, or you're saying in general? Are you saying in general or like right now? Because I think now they're just promoting the gun control. I know, I can't wait either. So again, oh, in general, oh, I agree with that. They have plans for us. Yeah, I don't know about all that. That's getting into conspiracy stuff. It's definitely getting into conspiracy stuff. I don't know, like, in order to, let me put it like this. In order to get gun control, they didn't make this happen. They didn't allow this to happen. They didn't tell this kid to go kill 18 people and then we're going to kill you. That's not how this went down. So that's why a conspiracy theory doesn't fit. That's where I send you over to Molly. But is there more to it? Like this kid may have been really mentally ill, or there's more going on that way? Absolutely. I agree with that. But I don't think this was about gun control to start, because nobody forced this kid to do what he did. You know what I mean? I mean, this was a kid. This was a kid killing kids. Not even like it was an adult. This was a kid killing kids. 18 years old. Sad. Really fucking sad. So my heart goes out to all the families, and I hope everybody was able to find their kids. Katrina, email me. I would love to keep up on your grandkids. Hey, Wyoming. So I am going to shut down. I will see you guys later. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a wonderful day. Have a wonderful rest of your night. I know you guys are going to be glued to the news. My eyes are burning. So I will see you guys later.